Trump mocks glasses worn by Chinese officials in rambling speech riddled with false claims. The Independent.
Here's a summary of the article.
Donald Trump appeared to mock aides of Chinese President Xi Jinping for wearing glasses during a rambling White House speech. The president used expressive hand gestures to mimic the advisor's eyewear during the monologue, in which he claimed to have personally convinced Mr. Xi over dinner to release 3 U.S. college basketball players detained in Hangzhou over allegations of shoplifting. Mr. Trump described how he apparently requested at a state function in Beijing in 2017 that his Chinese counterpart do him a favor by letting the group go free. Mr. Trump appeared to be drawing on the phrase straight out of central casting, used to portray someone as an archetype or stereotype, in an effort to describe the Chinese government officials. Addressing U.S. governors during a business session meeting on Monday, the president made several factually questionable claims. I said to President Xi, "You don't have much of a drug problem." "Do you have a drug problem?" "No. No drug problem," the president began, recounting another conversation that apparently took place between him and the Chinese leader. "I said, so you have 1.4 billion people, and you don't have a drug problem?" "That's right. No drug problem," I said. "What do you attribute that to?" "Death penalty. Quick trial."
This post received a score of 24,111, with an upvote ratio of 79%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I'm more worried about this segment of the speech.
Greater than death penalty. Quick trial. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that quick in this case isn't to be consistent with the Sixth Amendment, and is more in line with ignoring the Fifth en route to shredding the Eighth.
We think them more as guidelines.
Except for the second. That is as God intended. You realize Trump infringed the 2A right?
Tell me more.
Take the guns first, go through due process second. Something gun nuts say they would revolt against if a Democrat tried to introduce.
It blows my mind that there was an unfounded Obama's coming for your guns hysteria for 8 years stirred up by right-wing propagandists, yet those same people have no problem supporting somebody that can nonchalantly suggest that the Second and Fourth Amendments aren't there at all.
One would think that the country representing democracy wouldn't keep a president who ignores its constitution.
You would think.
Baldwin should do an SNL sketch where he just reads one of Trump's speeches verbatim and see if Trump wigs out about it.
That's literally a plot in 30 Rock. Tracy is mocking a VP candidate on his sketch show but only says things that the candidate himself said. It's gold.
I came to say this too. It's wild that just a few years ago that was a funny hypothetical. Now it's our reality.
Keep in mind, in the previous election upon the airing of this episode, Sarah Palin was running as McCain's vice president, and she said a fair amount of things that were only minimally changed on SNL, where Faye herself would say them in skits to much laughter and applause. This episode was very likely a reference to that.
This the same guy who wants to regulate SNL for mocking him?
Narcissists are typically blind to their own hypocrisy. Edit, since this post is getting so much traction, I would also like to use it to spread awareness of narcissistic abuse.
My mother-in-law is narcissist AF and it's amazing the similarity in their behavior.
Yeah, me too. I never could really describe her mental illness until Trump came along and all the pieces fit. Inflated self-image? Check. Delusions of grandeur? Check. Telling verifiable lies about accomplishments? Check. Total lack of empathy? Check. Extreme self-righteousness? Check. Except my Mill is also a hypochondriac that has fits at extremely convenient times to get attention. In opposition to the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency. AKA Mr. Bonespurs.
My favorite story my wife tells is my Mill went to a cake decorating class once. After the class, one of her friends gave her $20 to decorate an anniversary cake. One cake, one time, $20. And now she will tell you she was a professional cake decorator.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.